So after about, well, we're not quite a week into this whole venture yet, but I do have some updates. So the shop's been all set up. We did that in about a day. Ivan got all his forms made, kind of documented that, put it out there on the YouTube in more clip versions. Just wanted to talk about it real quick. So we've actually had a lot of production in the last couple days, probably about 2 days worth of work. This gate is complete and it's ready for paint and sanding. And then also we are building an awning as well. So both brackets on both sides of that awning are actually done. And we've got some more work to do on that. Good news is today again, getting resourceful. So we can't really do paint in here. It's not warm enough. Don't have the space for it. So I got on the internet and there's some shops you could rent, and I didn't get a chance to call, but Ivan actually has a buddy that's got a shop that does like interior metal stuff, so perfect. He's gonna paint everything that we need him to paint for $500, which really at this point we can't beat, because that's sandblasting and painting for 500 bucks. That's a really good deal. So excited about that. That means we'll have this gate. We're gonna do this awning. I found a really cool epoxy. There's a guy, so again, I got on Facebook Marketplace. There's a guy that's got epoxy table business up in Holly, Michigan. And I messaged him and I said, hey, what would it cost? And he shot me a message back on a 30-inch round live edge piece that's already done. So I'm gonna grab that off of him, and we're gonna build some legs for that. And everything we take to the home show is gonna be for sale. Now the other good news is, just as of about 5 minutes ago, this gate is already sold. So we've made our first sale. It was a client that I did some siding for back in fall. I said it'd really be cool if you had like a classic iron gate there, because she's in Beverly Hills. She's got a beautiful farmhouse we did the siding for her on, and for her birthday she said, man, that would be really cool if you guys could come up with something for me. So Ivan came up with that, and we went ahead and built it anyway because we're going to take it to the show. And I just texted her today. I said, well, you know, if it fits in your budget, so her husband bought it for her for her birthday, which I think is great. And it's gonna look beautiful once it's painted and all hung. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that as well. But yeah, first sales in the books. And so that's the thing. We just want to get those things moving. Everything we take into that home show. So like the table, trying to convince Ivan into doing a couple stools, and we'll make like a bistro style table. But I think that might be too much, so we're probably going to do like a coffee table type thing. Might bring a couple other things like pot rack holders. Let's see what else we can come up with, and maybe we can sell and it just get enough money to pay for the show and the trip to Florida. I don't know if that's possible, but we're gonna shoot for that. Went to Elrose Steel today, bought some steel. Now that's the other thing I've been doing. They have a lot of remnants, so it just drops. If you're not familiar with that in the manufacturing process, when they're cutting their steel down for use or whatever they're building, it's called off-fall. So anything that they cut, they're gonna resell, and they sell it per pound. So it's like $1.25 per pound. Brand new steel. There's nothing wrong with it, but it works, and it's just another way to save money. Now they don't always have everything. Like all this round stock, I actually had to buy, which no problem, right? Whatever. But that's another way to save money. So we're doing everything we can to get this thing bootstrapped, shoestring budget. We're into this right now. New metal I bought today. Building the awning. We're into this for $2,500, probably a little bit less so far. The $2,500 will include the $500 in paint that hasn't been done yet. We're keeping our costs as low as possible. Startup costs us a lot of sweat equity. It's a lot of labor, and that's what you want to do when you're starting a business. You don't want to go crazy and spend money, at least in my opinion. No, there's a couple different ways to go about it. Of course, you can lever debt and put that into a business. Then you got that hanging over your head. So saving money by having this shop space, going really, frugal on everything that we buy, as far as we're not buying anything more than we need. I'm buying it as we go, as well as everything we went to the scrapyard for was just to build our shop table. That didn't have to be perfect by any means, but for the customers and stuff, we want it to be all brand new steel. So there's nothing, I'm not picking something out of the scrapyard for that. So that's where we're at now. We've got to put a few finishing touches on this. Like I said, it's going to get sent off to sandblast and paint. We've got to get the gate done, awning done. What else did we say we were going to do? The table, and we're going to make a logo and everything so the booth looks really nice. Once all that's put together, I'll show you kind of along the way how that's going. But I've got to get business cards. I've got to get some shirts made. And then, yeah, we should be able to start taking pictures of our product, get it listed up online. I've got the website done. That was super simple with Shopify. Took me, I don't know, 20 minutes to get everything, and it's a really good platform. So I look to get that thing updated. All I got to do is get some products on there and posted for sale. So that won't be a problem once we have a few more things built. But yeah, that's where we're at. We've got, like I said, less than $3,000 right now into this business. Our first sale's in the books. I look to just keep doing that. Going to use the sales machine, and that's the thing with this. I should talk about that with marketing. So I'm doing a lot of social media posts, right? That's great. Hopefully we'll stir up some business that way. The idea is when we're going to this building show in Florida next month, so we got to have all this done. When we go to Florida next month, the idea there is I want to talk to, the reason I'm doing this whole show anyway, I should say, is we want to talk to contractors, architects, people that can do the marketing and selling for us. And the reason I'm trying that, because I'm in the roofing business right now, and with my roofing business, most of my leads come from Google. That's great, but it's really expensive. So if I can get more hand-to-hand business, and I've tried everything with the roofing business to try to eliminate Google, and it's not possible. That's my biggest expense as a company. We spend so much money on marketing, it'd make you sick, right? And most of it is through Google. Well, Google's got the market cornered. It's a very competitive business. With roofing, there's so many other competitors, it's kind of hard to get your word of mouth out. I do door hangers. I do flyers. We send postcards to every thing. We do the home shows. We didn't do the winter one, but we did do the spring one. The home shows are really good. We can meet and talk to the customers there. That's kind of the same thing I'm thinking here. We'll probably do the home show here with Pinnacle as well. That's in Novi, and that's in April. I didn't do the winter one for this or the other business because I didn't have success with it last year during the winter. The spring show is better for roofing and siding. And I'll tell you another thing. With this business, I do see this being a good thing to set up at the home show as well, so we can get our get exposure out there in Metro Detroit. So that's the plan right now, and my goal is to try to get architects, contractors, anybody from across the country that does this type of work. I want to meet them in person, and the higher end people that we can target. If I can develop those relationships and people that are going to consistently come back as customers, because we'll keep them happy. That's the goal. So I'm not spending that. Because with Google right now, I should say, you spend money, you get one customer one time. Now, do they refer people? Sure, but probably about 20% of the time. I don't get a whole lot of, because I mean, how many times in life are people going to need roofs, right? The thing is with somebody that's building a home or does this type of work all the time, landscaping companies, things like that, they're going to want to keep coming back to us, especially if we provide a good quality product. They can make a little bit of money on it, and everybody's happy. So that's the goal there with that. So yeah, that's the overall goal. We want to build a personable marketing system with people that do this type of work across the country. That's the goal. I don't know how that's going to work out. That's just my guess. That's what my gut's telling me to do. So that's what we're going to do. I will do Google here as well. I will do marketing as well around Metro Detroit, but it's a very niche market. I don't think we're going to have that much work in the area. I really don't know, actually. But we're in a niche market, so I'm going to expand that to nationwide. That's why we are going to sell nationwide. To different contractors, architects, and the like. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. Just wanted to update everybody. Appreciate you coming along for the journey, and pretty excited to get this thing going. We'll see what other products we come up with in the meantime. Stay tuned.